Hello and
Hello,
welcome.
everybody.
What the hell? Get out of here.
Got
Hello
him.
and welcome everyone to another episode of the SharpSHOOTers. As always, we're your hosts, Danny, and this man trying to impede on my intro, Juice. How you doing tonight, Juice?
I'm doing great. I'm geared up, ready to go. Feeling quite large and in charge.
Quite large and in charge. I don't know if you fit that
Right.
criteria. We'll find out later. Matt,
I don't know.
unfortunately, has become usual lately, has not joined us tonight. One day he'll make an appearance. I'm hoping if I say that enough, he'll just surprise us and show up one night while I'm doing the intro.
He's still on the run from
Not
the
tonight.
police.
Does Juice have
Oh,
a mic? Yes,
Can you-
he does, ladies and gentlemen. That's not meaning
Oh.
they can't hear you, bro. They're shocked you have one.
I thought he couldn't hear me. I was like, damn. All right. Hello. Hello there.
Juice, we usually start with our trivia. What you got for us tonight?
We do usually start with trivia, but tonight we're not. No, I'm kidding. We are. Okay. So, this week's trivia question, a little bit of a complicated one.
Oh,
But-
no.
I'm giving you 3 guesses, and I have 3 hints. Right?
All right.
So it's a hard one, but I got it right, and I want to see if you can get it right as well.
That's good.
So,
Too much pressure.
you got this. Okay. Which wrestler in AEW has wrestled the most matches without being pinned or submitted in the ring?
Fuck.
The first hint is they have over 100 matches.
Boo that man is what Tasmanian said to your question.
You can get this. Come on.
No.
I'm giving you 3 hints.
No, I
You
think
can-
that was just to one of us in general. So.
Over 100 matches.
Over 100 matches, hasn't been pinned or submitted, you said? That doesn't mean they haven't lost, so they could have lost by DQ a lot, which probably
That's
means
correct.
they're a big man, because that's what we're talking about tonight. I'm going to go with...
Ooh.
No, he's lost. I was going to say Lance Archer, but he's lost. I'm going to go with...
Goldberg, you're not even in AEW.
Goldberg.
Come
I
on.
feel like Goldberg is too hobby. Someone's not listening to the question.
AEW wrestlers.
Damn it. I know this is wrong, but I just want to get a guess out because I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's go with Satnam
Go
Singh.
for it. Nope, not Satnam Singh.
Didn't think so.
All right. Number 2, they debuted in 2020.
Okay, so that was
So
pretty.
they have over 100 matches. Were not there since day 1, and they were there. They debuted during the pandemic in 2020. That narrows it down a little bit.
Wardlow.
No, not Wardlow. Wardlow was there from the start with MJF.
Oh yeah, that's
And,
fair.
Nope, not him. So not Wardlow. Last
2020?
guess.
Okay,
Last
go
hint?
ahead, yeah.
They are a former AEW champion. So they've held the title in AEW.
I was actually gonna say no, but he lost.
So
No, wait. Did
think here. I'll give you one more. Think of all the championships, not just singles. Which kind of narrows it down even more. But whatever.
Yeah,
So last guess. Let's go.
Hook. No, Hook lost too.
Um,
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. You stumped me on this one.
Yeah. So first off, Tez is saying there's a 5-minute delay. I don't know if that's just on his end or something, but I don't know. I think we're fine.
Well, I wonder what the
Either-
delay is. The delay for
I think it's on his end. don't
I
know.
guess for what they're saying. Interesting.
Either way, who was your last? You said
I said
What'd you
Hook,
say?
but I know that's wrong.
no. Hook hasn't even. Hook's only had like
Yeah,
30,
I know
40
that's wrong.
matches. So the answer is Austin Gunn,
Austin
With-
Gunn.
125 matches. He has wrestled the most matches in AEW without being pinned or submitted.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, it was a tough one, but my
That's a
good
good
friend
one, though.
AEW, my good friend on AEW Metrics on Twitter posted that trivia question to everybody, and a ton of people couldn't get it, and I was actually the one that got it finally. So figured I'd pat myself on the back and see if
I
you
like
can
that.
get it with the same guesses. But yeah, Austin Gunn.
Definitely did not. But no, that was a good one. Austin Gunn, I would never have
Yeah.
guessed. I wasn't even thinking of that.
I'll admit it was a 50-50 because I said it wasn't one of the guns, and he was like, "Which one?" And I guessed Austin. So it was one or the other,
man,
and
That's it.
I got it.
Even one of the guns is closer than what anyone else has done.
all right, that's it. So
Nice.
I'm taking over from here now. Mr. Hosty Man. This is my segment for you. Now, what you've all been waiting for, it is time for the Meat-O-Meter. The Meat Madness, if Danny will. We are here to discuss the very definition of what is a big man versus not a big man.
I don't understand why this is even a discussion, by the way. It's very clear
so
cut to me.
Please, sir, the host is speaking at this moment. So, this started about a month ago between Danny and myself, where one of the names that is in this grouping that we're going to be discussing here, was he considered not a big man, which I thought was insane. I thought it was crazy. So from there, kind of spiraled into what he thinks is a big man versus not a big man, versus what I thought was a big man and not a big man. And it's led us here to today, here in the chat finally, where we're going to be doing the Meat-O-Meter, where we have a list of names, and we're going to see if Danny thinks they are considered a big man and not a big man. Now, before I give Danny a chance to speak here about what he considers a big man, so we can have the idea here for everyone to chat, I want everyone to do a little bit of housekeeping here in the chat. First off, I'm going to be posting a link in the chat right now, right there for all of you to see. That Tier Maker live link is going to be live for a week. And a whole week for you to vote, but we'd love for you to vote right now. You can go in there, see what we're going to be doing, and as we're doing it, you can also vote on if you agree or not, if you think that they're a big man or not. So head in there right now, get ahead of the curve, and then you can see what Danny's saying versus what we're saying, and share with all your friends. So that's a nice little fun one.
I love, by the way, as you're doing all this, Tasmanian has realized that they were the issue with the lag and not us. Thank you, Tasmanian, for rebooting.
Kind of what I figured, but we appreciate you. And two more bits of housekeeping before we dive into this segment. First off, this is the last episode of this month that we will be doing as part of September. So if you have not subscribed to us, now is an excellent time to do so. You get 25% off on your subscription. It is down below the link. You can see it right there, 25% off in Purple. It's nice and beautiful. So please do support us. And if you do not want to use the subscription there, if you have Amazon Prime, you can use your Amazon Prime gaming account. Link your account to Twitch. Use that free sub on us. We do appreciate it. It does help us pay the bills, keep the lights on around here. I know sometimes they're flickering, things are getting kind of rough, but we would appreciate any of the support you can give us. Guys, it helps us grow and helps us get nice, big, and strong.
I have a wedding coming up. All my money's going there. We need some money for the electricity in the house. Please, just some sub would help us a little bit.
Yes. And yeah, so last piece of business. The pinned link in the chat, if you take a peek at it, is a Facebook link to our friends at Till 5 Wrestling. They have a podcast they've recently started over on the Facebook side, and they are going to be putting on their first live stream tomorrow night, 8 p.m., over on Facebook. And this is hosted by Notorious ATB and Tanner. Remember his name now. My apologies for last time. I could not recall it. But Notorious ATB and Tanner will be hosting the show, and I will be joining along with a few other panelists. We'll be discussing on a roundtable the history of Bryan Danielson versus Nigel McGuinness.
Oh,
so it'll
wow.
be a nice little deep dive. It'll be a nice deep dive into Ring of Honor as a whole and their history as a rivalry, especially after last night's show, which we'll get to later. But please do go support the link now. Go follow them. Get the notification tomorrow when they go live, and every week they're posting episodes as well between just the two of them. They're a fun watch. I check them out. They're really good stuff. So again, give them some love. Give us some love. Love all around. Now, let's all shit on Danny for the next 20 minutes about what he considers a big man wrestler.
Oh, I just don't understand how you don't know what a big man is. It makes
the floor is yours.
No sense to me, all right?
All right. So let us know.
If you're one of these little indie boys, then that might be the problem, where just like everyone's a big man because they can lift someone over their head. That's the issue. A big man, if I don't have to look up to them, they're not a big man. I'm 6 feet. I'm very much average. So if I don't have to look up, they're not a big man. Anyone who's 6 feet is not a big man. Anyone who's under 300 or under 250 is not a big man. Stop with this. Just because they're strong, just because they can lift someone, that doesn't make them a big man.
Okay, so I'm sorry. So just to get that again, what was your threshold for a big man? I'm
gonna say there's gonna be a few exceptions to the rule, very few, but about 6'4", 6'5". 6'5", 6'6" minimum, and and or 300 to 350 pounds minimum. Minimum.
Minimum. Okay, so that's what I have written down for you. Is your threshold when you first brought this up was 6'6" and 300 pounds.
What
and or
is happening in the chat? Both of you, shut up.
Big men are not John's specialty. You know what? Got a point. They're not. Either way. And Freebird says Juice is a wrestling expert, but Danny's an expert on guys. Yeah, that's fair. That's very accurate.
This is true. All true facts.
Yeah, so I guess let's dive right in. One last time, just in case anybody missed it, I'm going to post the live link there in chat. So by all means, if you're just joining us, click that link, get on in there and vote for who you think's a big man, who you think is not. I'll check in as we go along, see what you guys are thinking. But yeah, let's get this.
Here we go.
Let's get this started. Let's see what Danny thinks. And again, this is just Danny. I'm not going to weigh in on where they end up on this list. I'll disagree with him, but they're not going to change whatever this list is.
No.
This is Danny's list only.
This is the definitive list.
Here we go. Let's go. Let's go bump some meats.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah.
Loving meat.
All right, we are up and running. Let me know when you can all see that. We have it up. Are we good to go?
We got some names, some very obvious ones. Wow.
All right. Oh, we got some flatulence going already.
I like some of these names already.
All right. So let's see. Just to dive in here. So already, before we even start, we have 10 people that have already put in their votes in the Meatometer live chat. We appreciate that. Please do keep them coming. Let us know what you think. We want to know. But again, we'll check in on that once we dive in now here. So I guess we can go in order. If there's anybody that sticks out you want to do first, what are you thinking to start off?
Let's see. I mean, some of the easy ones. We can get some of the easy ones out of the way. Some that I don't see an argument over. Let's.
Okay.
I see the Big Show there.
Big Show.
I think Big Show's
big man
nice.
or not? Big Show is a big man or not a big man, Danny?
My friend's dad used to make custom suits for the Big Show. Man is no joke. Huge. I'm gonna agree with Square Spectrum and go with Big Man for the Big Show.
Wow, Danny starting off with the hot takes. Okay.
Very easy, very simple.
Really? He's so big you can't even see his whole body.
I don't know. I assumed it was the Big Show because of the singlet, and that was the only reason.
This is how it shook out.
All right, the second easy one I'll go with for a big man criteria, just so you guys can see the simpleness. I believe that's that might be Big Daddy V. Or Viscera. I'm not sure which version of that is.
That is absolutely Big Daddy V.
But that is a big boy, so he is definitely a big man.
Big piece of meat. Okay.
Big boy.
All right.
All right.
So far we're on the same page. I'm with you so far.
No problem here.
Glenn says you are simple.
I think I am simple, but we gotta get these simple ones out of the way. I don't want to get too crazy right away. So let's go with another simple one. John Cena, not a big man. Not
John
a
Cena.
big man.
Wow.
Super strong, freak of nature.
His name is John Cena.
Not a big man.
Oh, we got some John Cena.
Why isn't Tink on this list so tiny you can't even see?
So tiny. He's right. She's right. There's no picture at all.
I love it.
And by the way, just so chat knows, the intention here is that this is the first of multiple segments.
Yes.
So we won't be doing this won't be the last one. We won't be doing a million of them, but we will do this again. That is the intention. So this was just I have a huge list, a big man list, if you will.
I will say yes. I'm surprised some of these names because they're so obvious. I thought we were going to do a little more challenging, but I do see some that I know you're going to argue with. So I feel like you don't want to take too much argument time. I get your plan.
Again, and we're setting the temperature. We're getting the baseline for you. Listen, and that's the thing. Again, like for the record. Just because these names are on here, I don't think all these people are big men.
Oh, I know you don't.
I'm just setting that record straight. This is just me providing a list to set a baseline. So
all right.
Continue.
So here's one. I don't know. I forgot if this was one of your arguments or not, but I was using this as part of my argument. We're gonna go with Kevin Owens. I see a little KO over there. KO, not a big man. Not a big man. KO might be my height. And just has a big belly, but he's not even that fat. I don't even think he's even 300 pounds. Not a big man.
I can give you that one. That was one of the ones when I put it on there. I was kind of like, all right, he's got the like you said, he's got the belly. But so Kevin Owens, 6 foot even and 242 pounds. So yeah, I can give that one to you. I think he's probably the second lightest person on this list. So I can absolutely roll with that.
So then so then now we're gonna start with a little bit of where our contention started, because Kevin
Now
Owens
we
is
are.
what I use as the example to show that Samoa Joe is not a big man. Samoa
Okay.
Joe is barely taller than I am. He is just a little chunky. He's not fat. He's not a big man. He wrestles smaller guys and uses big man moves, and that's the illusion that you indie guys have fallen under, and that's the problem. But he is not, I repeat, not a big man.
All right. So let's chat. No, first off, you indie guys. I'm not an indie guy. I never stepped foot in a ring in my
Oh,
life.
you are an indie bitch. All right?
What is this? This is
All
an
right?
attack on my character.
Well, you said you were attacking me tonight, so I came locked and loaded, bro.
All right, fair enough. No, so Samoa Joe is the one that started all of this for chat to know. This was the name that kind of spawned this whole debate, and I have to disagree. I mean, listen, if you want to go down this rabbit hole of being like, you know, small or big relative to the opponent, we'd be here all night saying, in theory, then everyone is a smaller big man wrestler compared to somebody else. And I think that's just my personal opinion on your opinion is I think you're really threading the needle and being way too specific and overdoing it with what you would define as a big man. Whereas I'm a little bit more liberal with it, where I'm like, listen, I mean, if they're a big guy, they're a big man wrestler. Like, you don't need to be this like
But that's my point. He's not a big
gigantic
guy.
thing.
He's the same size as KO.
No, he's 282. So if you want to get down to, he's 40 pounds bigger, and he's 2 inches taller. So again, if we're gonna narrow that down, fine, whatever. But I don't think it's that far fetched. Like again, I know your idea is the 300 minimum.
Well,
he's 282.
well, it's,
so,
it's also because I look when I think of a big man, I look at them not compared to other wrestlers. I look at them compared to your average fan, and like your average adult fan. So
okay,
if your average adult fan is like around 6 feet, let's say anywhere from 200 to 250 pounds, then if you want to be a big man, you should be significantly bigger than your average fan. Being
so let's
an inch or two taller and maybe 30 pounds heavier isn't a big man to me. Like that doesn't equate to me. Just if you're the same as a fan, you're not a big man.
see. So Tez brings up a great point. Big man is a presence, not a specific weight or height limit, and that's where I think you're getting very like bogged down with like it must be a certain threshold. Like,
But
if
okay.
if Samoa Joe weighed 18 more pounds, he'd be a big man in your book.
No. Because
That's 300 pounds.
I said, so if you remember our original argument, I said that if they're going to be below 6'6", that's when they have to get to the 350. If they're going to be above, if they're 6'5" or 6'6", that's when they can be around 300 because that's how it equates out. If you're shorter
Then
but like really large, that's a different type of big man. What I think you guys are doing is comparing it to the presence is what we were kind of getting into argument where it's a monster because Brock Lesnar, that's a monster. That's not a big man. That's a guy who can kick someone's ass and he's, huge, but he's not a big man if you compare him to like the Big Show. Brock Lesnar's I think again 6'2", 6'3", like Brock Lesnar's around the height of an average person. He's just a fucking freak of nature. That's what it is. So like that's what I'm saying. I big man and being a muscle and like a strong, powerful person are two different personas.
yeah, but see that's just where again I think you're just really like monster wrestler, freak wrestler, big man wrestler. They are all one and the same. It's not that different.
It
And I
can't
feel
be
like
that
you're,
one.
but again, this is why we're having this debate, and we want to see what chat thinks on how we both side with this, because I just think you're really on this like very like okay, well if they're six this then 300 that it's just listen, use your eye test. I think someone wrote that in here. They said where is it? I lost it in the chat, but someone said just give them a look at their picture and where is it?
100%. Yeah, look at it, the pick, answer how you feel, for sure. And I've always felt that Samoa Joe was never a big man. And to be honest with you, if we really think about how Samoa Joe was originally presented, he was presented in a division that wasn't for big men. He was specifically presented in a division where larger men can move like cruiserweights and stuff and show that it's not just a big man thing. Like the whole X division was centered around him, AJ Styles, and Christopher Daniels. Like specifically showing that not a big man because he has different personas, but his his character is that he's a killer, that he's so dangerous, yada yada yada. Like that's his persona. That's what I see when I see him. I see a dangerous man. I don't see a big man.
And that's and that's fine. That's your prerogative. Just to bring up some comments here. Jay says, "My two metrics are: they bigger than Billy Gunn, who was never considered a big man, and would Kurt Angle need a tranquilizer gun to knock them out?" Excellent
I
point.
kind of agree with the Billy Gunn stuff. Yeah, exactly. Like Billy Gunn's not considered a big man, and he's a pretty tall guy. Like you gotta be like he's.
Well, he's not in this group right now, so we won't talk about him. But so all right, so let's move this along.
All right, so Samoa Joe not a big man. Next one.
So, well, before we move on fully from that, I wanted to at least point out what the group chat is saying. So the group vote, 67% of votes have Samoa Joe as a big man.
Foolish.
So just want to point that out there, and that not including. I did not vote in this. You did not vote in this. This is just everyone in chat watching with us. So 67% of people think you're wrong, but that's fine. So let's for the sake of this, let's get Samoa Joe in not a big man. All right, who's up next?
As we see with politics every 4 years, the majority of the place gets this stuff wrong, so it's okay. No big deal.
Okay, Danny. Nailed it. Okay.
Big Cass, big man.
All right, Big Bill.
Big Bill, Big Cass, whatever you want to call him, big man.
You think Big Bill's a big man?
I know Big Bill's a big man.
Okay, all right. What else we got?
Is that China? Come on now, we talked about this.
That is China.
Now,
is China a big man wrestler?
Now, if we're comparing her to every wrestler, so big men and other men, no, she's not a big man wrestler. If we're putting her in her division, because then we gotta change what the criteria for the big man is. Because then
so there's
women have a different average height and weight than men do. So yeah, you would have to change the parameters for women to women. But if we were saying big men, then no, she's not a big man.
Mr. WNBA over here. So much for equality.
Well, that's rude.
So where are we putting China then?
I'm gonna lump her with the men since this is a big man or not big man. So I'm gonna say not big man. Wow. She can have a little asterisk though. I'm fine with that.
She'll remember that. Not the first asterisk.
She'll remember that. I'm not too worried about it.
Not the first asterisk she's been given. Thanks, Hunter. All right.
Ouch. All right.
Let's do.
Why don't you pick one?
Yeah, let's do. You know what? Let's do the man that coined the term meat. Let's talk Big E. Big meaty man bumping meats.
Oh man. So
is Big E a big man wrestler?
This might be one of the exceptions to the rule for me. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what his weight and stuff is, but I feel he looks like he's definitely over 300 pounds in my opinion. Over 300 pounds, and he's just built very, very well. So I am going to consider Big E a big man. Okay.
All right. So let's see. First off, chat has Big E. Same thing. 67% think he is a big man as well. Well done, Danny. You did good. And by the way, while we're here,
he definitely is going to fall like weight because I know he's so short. I don't know if he's well over 300 though. So I feel like he's going to like break my parameters for sure.
So, for comparison, Big E is 3 inches shorter than Samoa Joe and only 3 pounds bigger.
I knew it.
Not going to call you a hypocrite here.
No, for sure.
Samoa Joe and Big E, exact same height and weight, more or less.
Like I said, the way his upper body is for me, just confuses me, and he's once I said it, I was like, he's not anywhere near the criteria I said, but his upper body makes him look like he's fucking huge and like not enough fat wear or anything. So that's what threw me off. I knew he was gonna fucking break this son of a bitch.
So Tez says she definitely had a bigger dick than most in this chat. Oof. Oh my, this is getting spicy.
Oh no, if we can say that on here.
Oh, you already did. Cock balls. Okay, next up, let's go with Vader.
Easy, big man. Moved so well, but easy, big man.
Yeah, for sure. Let's get some more easy ones off here. Taker.
Yeah. Taker, big man. Yoko, big man. I saw him next to Taker.
Yoko. You sure about that? No,
I'm pretty sure about Yoko.
All right. Let's see.
I'm going to say Big Boss Man. I'm pretty sure he was a big man.
Pretty sure. Why unsure, Danny?
Pretty sure he was a big man. I'm being sarcastic because of the name, sir.
Oh. Well, I mean, you could, All right, we'll get to it. All right, let's see. Let's go with Kane.
Kane,
Get
big
some easy
man.
ones off.
Yeah, another easy
Yeah, big
one.
man.
When
Yeah,
you
no
s-
debates
when you
there.
can stare Undertaker in the face, you're a big man.
Yeah. All right, let's do and Bronson Reed.
Bronson Reed, best big man rivalry going today with Braun Strowman. We'll talk more about that later. I know you're very excited to hear it. Don't worry about it.
No, we won't. I'll be asleep by then.
I'll
All
be
right.
asleep and the show will be over.
All right, let's do Jacob Fatu.
Jacob Fatu,
Big man or
I
not?
do not consider a big man. I consider him a monster heel. I consider him a dangerous beast, but I don't even think he does big man moves besides really the Samoan drop. So I don't know how many people would consider him a big man. I'm actually interested in that one, but I definitely don't consider him a big man.
All right, we'll give that a look. So while we're talking, if anyone's joined us along the way, I know I keep posting it in chat. That link I am posting right there in chat right now. You can go and vote live right now in real time with us. Let us know who you consider a big man or not. We will look at the results as we go along and share the results with any of the ones that are being debated. So join in and have some fun. Let's talk some meat, some cutlets. Yeah, that's poultry. Either way, I digress. All right, total results. Where are we looking? We were on Bronson Reed, you said? No, who are
No,
we talking about?
Fatu.
Fatu, thank you. I got lost in my shell. So Jacob Fatu, it's an even split, 50-50.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
So no help, Danny. No help, Danny.
Well, you
Good
know
luck.
what it is? I'm curious also how many of our viewers actually know who Jacob Fatu is. Like some are not casual, some are casual, some are not. So some might not know who he is and just based on the picture. And some of these pictures obviously aren't the best to compare with. So interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What do you think?
Not a big man. Doesn't change my vote.
I'm kind of with you on that. I was kind of feeling the same way. All right, let's see. Let's do Luchasaurus.
Luchasaurus, the smartest big man in the history of professional wrestling, apparently. Mr. Harvard IQ.
Yeah. So big man?
Big man for me.
All right, so just so you know, for the record, Luchasaurus does not fit either of your criteria.
Get the fuck out of here.
He is 6'5" and 275.
Oh, okay,
So,
6'5". I'll take that. That's all right.
I see. You'll give
Did
an
I
inch,
say
but not
6'5" to
even-
6'6"? I thought I said 6'5" to 6'6", or did I say 6'6", 6'7"?
I looked back in the original text, and you said 6'6".
Okay, cool.
So,
I
yeah,
thought
I'm just
earlier
going
tonight I
off
said
what you-
6'5", 6'6", but you might be right.
You did. You
Okay.
did say it here. I'm just clarifying, but though, for the sake of when this all began, it
that's fine.
was 6'6".
That's fine.
But okay. Yeah.
It's not a big
right.
E exception to the rule. That's a very, very fair fine line.
And oddly enough, 100% of the votes say Luchasaurus is a big man. So
For sure.
there you go. All right, let's do Tomohiro Ishii.
Figment's nightmare. Ishii, definitely not a big man.
You
No
said
way.
definitely not.
Definitely not.
Okay, all right. Let's take a peek here. Let's see.
I feel
what
like there's not even an argument. Even if he fit the criteria, there's not even an argument because of the way he wrestles. It seems like he's more like damage taking, and then just does a few like strong moves more than does big man moves.
He's basically like the tank that you play with on like Overwatch.
Exactly.
So yeah, that one 50-50 in chat. So it's kind of on the fence, and I don't know. I can go either way on it. I mean, yeah.
What's his criteria? Does he fit? Does he even fit the?
Not really. He's
Yeah.
5'7", 220.
Yeah,
So
I was gonna say he's very short too.
He's tanky and stocky, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I can. That one I probably wouldn't co-sign on. Let's do Dutch. Let's go Dutch.
I'm not gonna lie, I can't. Oh, Dutch. Yes. Dutch.
From the Righteous.
So Dutch is weird because Dutch is one of those guys who like does the big man moves, but like I can tell is just taller than them, but he tries to make a lot of his moves the big man moves, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It really depends on the opponent. So like, that one kills me because like, if you can't do it with everyone, are you really a big man?
Jay says he ain't got no neck.
He ain't got no neck. I'm
He
curious.
ain't got no neck.
I'm curious of his criteria, so I'm gonna wait for you to tell me. I'm gonna vote and then let you tell me.
Sure.
I know that his character is a big man. I'll say a big man.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, he's by the way, Chad had him at 50-50, if I didn't say that already, sorry.
Okay,
And
interesting.
yeah, he kind of falls height and weight wise right there with Joe and Big E. He's right in the middle of like the two of them. So
I feel like his move set though is more like choke slams and more like all because of the tag team he's with. So that's why
yeah.
like that's what kind of changed my opinion on that a little bit. But also like I
All
don't
right.
watch enough of him to I think of everyone
Yeah.
on this list, he's the one I know the least.
Well, and the best thing is, usually when it's a tag team, it's pretty easy when it's like, all right, that's the big man of the tag team
Yeah.
versus the smaller guy. Either way. All right, Bork Laser.
I already said before, don't think he's a big man. I think
All right.
he's a freak and the definition of a monster for me, but not a big man. I want to go to one next that I think it's going to be, or actually, let's save this for last. I'm going to save Hobbs for last. Let's go pick your next one.
Sure. Sure. I just wanted to. Where is he? Where's Bork? I want to see what the chat did. Wow, 83% say Brock Lesnar is a big man.
That's crazy.
By the way, if you're here with us in chat and you voted yes or no in a way that you don't agree with, by all means, like jump in chat and call him out, call me
But
out
see,
if you
like,
think one of us got it wrong.
okay, so
I
even
want to
if
hear
we
it.
say presence, like what about him? Like he doesn't do big man moves. He doesn't do a choke slam. He doesn't do a big boot. Like he doesn't do the typical big man. So what about him is a big? I don't get it. Just because he's
So I'm
super
just gonna
strong, like he doesn't
I'm
match up height or weight with any of them.
I'm just gonna say I know you've said this in X with me. I know a lot of this mindset is drilled into you based on like you as a kid watching with
Oh,
WWF.
for sure,
So I understand that Vince got to you in that sense, and
for sure.
unfortunately we can't like wipe your brain
But
of this.
also,
But
again, I also refer back to like someone said in the chat before, like think of basketball when you say big man, blah blah blah, and it's like yeah, like when I play pickup games, I'm considered a big man because everyone's shorter than me. That doesn't mean I'm a big man in real life. Like I don't know, man. Like I'm comparing it to your average person, and then in the profession, you're supposed to be a larger version of that. So like if in the profession the average guy is more like a KO or on the other side of the spectrum, a John Cena, if you're real muscly, then the bigger version of the average guy should be whatever that is, in my opinion, if you're going to say a big man. Like, you can't be a big man and be the same height and weight as John Cena. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, no, I listen. I get where you're coming from. Just I
You're
don't
wrong.
agree with it to your very core. In every single way possible.
Next one.
All right, yes. Let's do Keith Lee.
Keith Lee. I was
Keith
so
Lee.
sad. I wish he got so much better. Keith Lee is another one where I feel like he doesn't fit that criteria, but he goes back and forth because he's Samoa Joe to me when he wants to be, and then he can be like a Vader when he wants to be, and it's so interesting. I'm gonna go with a big man, even though I know I'm gonna be contradicting myself.
I feel like you're kind of copping out here, Danny. I think you're in your own head.
I am.
Not gonna lie.
Now you guys,
Because
you've all gotten to me now. You've all gotten to me.
I just want to point out that Keith Lee is basically like Samoa Joe based on your standards. Like he's 6'2", same height as Joe.
He is, right?
He's
He's not like I'm in my
same
own
height
head
as
about it because
Joe.
I'm also thinking like he does moves like I was saying, like he does more of the high flying moves. Like he doesn't do big man moves. I think I'm just thinking like I'm like looking at him.
He's 340 pounds. So I mean he's in your range.
Just keep him there. I'm gonna keep him there.
All right.
That big boy.
Let's do Brian Cage.
Brian Cage. Brian Cage is more like a Brock to me, man. He's super strong. I think I'm gonna put him and Bobby Lashley also in not a big man. They're more like those super strong freak athletes that, yeah, not big man.
Okay, so Brock and Bobby are about the same height and weight wise, and then you said Brian Cage. Then Brian Cage, he's smaller than them. So
All right, so far
let's
so
see.
good.
Let's see what people say. People say Bobby Lashley. 83% say he's a big man.
No
So
way.
they think,
He's no.
they think you're wrong. I'm telling you, man. Listen, this is majority people. Like,
But
this is
like
like
again, if I'm
83%.
going by your criteria now, what does he do that makes him a big like Bobby Lashley's a
He's
big
got
man?
but yeah, if you put him in the ring with Rey Mysterio, you go big man, little man.
Bro, if you
You
put
him
me in the ring with
Sam,
Rey Mysterio, I'm a big man. Like that's not a
you
fair
put him in the ring
comparison.
with Sami Zayn. You put him in the ring with any of these
Yeah,
people.
he's
I
not
can't
a
get another
big
name.
man. He's super strong, but he's not like towering over them.
All right, 83% beg
That's
to differ.
crazy.
And who was the other one we said? Brody King is when we put it. No,
This is the audience I'm doing this show for. I quit this shit. You are all so ridiculous. This is
Brian
crazy.
Cage. See. And Brian Cage, 67% say big man. So
nuts.
yeah,
Brian Cage is nuts. He's so Jesus Christ.
All right, I got 3 left. Umaga.
Thank you, Jim. I agree. I don't know if that's
Umaga.
directed at me, but I'm gonna say that's directed at the votes. Umaga.
It's definitely
Umaga. Umaga's a big man. Umaga had a fat ass, and that's no homo. Umaga is big man for sure. Brody King, Brody King, big man.
Okay, interesting. He doesn't fit either of your criteria.
Does he really not? That's shocking.
He does not.
He seems like he's like 350 pounds.
He is 6'3", 285. So Danny, your
That's
criteria
wild.
It's almost like your opinion is just based on the eye test. It's crazy.
You know what's really funny though? You say that as if like most of these haven't fit into the criteria, with the exception of 2, which is funny.
Well, it's funny. So out of everybody that voted in our community chat, only 2 wrestlers out of all these 25, no one picked them as a big man ever. Like everyone was unanimous, not a big man. Do you know which 2?
Wild. I'm gonna say Cena and China.
Cena and Owens.
Yeah, they even consider China a big man? Again, if we're talking
China
about the women's
50-50.
division...
50-50.
If we're talking about the women's division, she's most definitely a big man. If we're talking about other men, she is not a big man.
All right, last up, Powerhouse Hobbs.
Now, this is the one where I think it's going to be controversial, just for myself. I don't even care about the fans anymore because they're just crazy wrong.
Oh.
So, crazy wrong. It's not even, I'm going to turn heel on this podcast. This is ridiculous. So... Where I'm battling myself is that Hobbs to me is the same look wise as Big E, but Hobbs I feel like does less big man moves and more power moves. Big E I feel like did more big man moves to the tag team. And that's where I'm falling here. So I'm going to put Hobbs in not a big man and let you guys call me out on that because of Big E, and I'm fine with that.
Hey, not a big man. And the community chat, 86% say Powerhouse Hobbs is a big man.
They can be wrong.
Figment says China's a big man, used big man style. So
yeah, but
Jay says who picked China as
lift
a big
up
man?
your average? I don't think China lifted up Jeff Jarrett without Jeff Jarrett helping her. So let's calm down with China being a big man. That's also a little ridiculous.
Hey, listen. At the end of the day, opinions are for everybody.
Jim, I've said
valid,
that from the beginning. Jay DeFalco, I said that from the beginning. Where any of these people, I'd be terrified of. All of them can kick the shit out of me. That is not the argument. The argument is which one can kick the shit out of me face to face, eye to eye, and which one will I have to crank my neck or will I have to try to look around because I can't see the other side past them. Those are the ones that I consider a big man. But anyone that looking to me face to face, they can kick my ass because they're super strong, they're terrifying, they're whatever. But, it is what it is.
This is wild. I can't wait for part 2.
I cannot wait for part 2 because that's when it's going to be like the real debate ones. Because this is
I gave you a lot of layups here just to set the baseline.
I agree.
But,
and again, I'm pretty happy with all of them. Big E was the one, even on the spot, I said I wasn't too crazy about. And then the guy from The Righteous, like I said, I don't really know much about him. So that was the only one I was iffy on. Everyone else,
you got them right, even though you don't think
I got them right by I got pretty much everyone right by my criteria except for like 1 or 2, so I'm fine with this. This is a correct list.
All right. Well, the community chat begs to differ.
It's okay. Again,
Overwhelmingly, but hey,
again,
this was
the
fun.
problem is that we're in this new age where like everyone can be considered everything, and that's the issue with all
Oh,
you people. All right,
come on.
is that
Would
you
you
guys
stop?
can't figure out just what's incorrect and what's correct sometimes, and that's okay. Don't worry about it. You will learn one day, everyone. You will learn one day.
Wow. Well, on that note, I think it is time. Are we good on commercial time, or can
We are
I go to the
great
next
on
part?
commercial time, Mr. Host. Why don't
All
you
right.
continue?
All right. So here, before we move on, I'll read some things in chat really quick as we move on from this segment. Thank you all for participating. By the way, that was
That was so
awesome.
much fun.
Really cool.
Yeah,
Really glad you guys were here to take part.
yeah, that was dope.
Um, so Nia Jax has to be in part two. Great Khali is probably not a big man according to Danny. Bonus, what about Sheamus? And Tez says you contradicted yourself, Danny. I guess we'll. Damn, Danny,
That's
me,
fine.
me need to change area codes, man.
I
Get a
don't.
new
I'm
address. I
fine
don't
with
know. It's getting
this.
rough.
Again,
All right. So it's time for a new brief little segment here on the show. Something. Oh yeah. Also, Nyla Rose. Thank you,
Nyla.
Harley. We will see about that. So a new quick little segment I wanted to add here to the show. I have some AEW card packs that I have not opened for about a year now, and I figured rather than do one big stream where I open all of them as an unboxing, I'm gonna open one pack a week and just share with you what I get. See if I get anything good, if I get anything not good. I got about like 20 packs, so this is gonna be a nice little 1-2 minute segment every week going forward. So if you like card openings, unboxings, see if I get a hit. So we'll check it out. This is the 2022 Metal Collection, and let's open them up.
And for
See
some
what we
reason,
get.
if you don't, take this time to go on below and click on the link tree and throw us a sub. Thank you,
Yeet.
11th Owl, for following. That's awesome. If you should give another
Hey,
follow, that's great
nice,
too.
awesome.
Whatever you guys can
Thank
do, we'd
you.
really appreciate. While he's unwrapping one more time, if you're trying to give us a sub without costing you a thing, if you have Amazon Prime, please click on the links below, go on
Yeet.
gaming.amazon.com, and you can give
Yeet.
us a free sub for you, and it still helps us out, so I'd really appreciate it. We are down to 3 subs. If any of you have been subbing in the past and forgot to renew, this would be a great
Baby, come
time to
back.
renew, especially with the end of September, so please don't forget to renew if you can, or give us a sub if you can. And with that being said, Juice, show me some cards. I've never seen what these cards are like, so I'm really interested to see what these cards look like.
So
Because
we
cards are
got
cool. That's dope.
Penta, El Cero Miedo
I like that hologram. What's on
right
the
there.
back of them?
Here, let me back it up. Actually, no, let me switch to the other camera just so I can
Back it up.
get a
Back
more
it up.
updated look. Didn't really help. There we go. So that's Penta right there. Looks like it's a base card. It's on the back. There's just another picture and a little bit of like height, weight, and like a little
Oh,
paragraph
like a little
about them.
info? Cool.
Yeah, a little something, something right there. Yeah, wait, can
So
you read
which
that?
one do you know is like, is there like a big cool one?
There are some numbered cards.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them look a little different. I noticed these are from blaster boxes. So I don't think the hits are going to be that crazy, but
Well, just because
could still.
the
Yeah.
last trading cards I did was like Pokemon and stuff, so unless it's shiny, I don't know if
Uh,
it's good or not. I'm not going to lie to you.
yeah. This is the metal sets. I think all these shinies as a
Oh, they're
base
all
set are
shiny.
like
They're all going to throw me
normal.
off.
There. And then we got Matt Hardy.
You could delete that one.
As you could see a year ago. So these are
Terrible.
not that updated. Ooh, this one looks cool. We got an Adam Cole.
Tasmanian asks a great question. Do these cards say if they're big men? Because that might help you learn.
I mean, they got height and weights on them, so let's see. Matt
Matt
Hardy,
Hardy, not a
6'1",
big man. Don't even fucking say it.
6'1", 221.
Not a big man. Penta, not a big man. Look, we're
5'10",
doing this segment again. We said we were waiting. Adam Cole,
All right.
huge. What a big man.
Yeah, this one looks kind of cool. It's a
Look how big
skybox
he
one.
looks.
It looks different than the others. It's got like a galaxy thing going on
Yeah,
in the
that does
background.
look
So that's
dope.
pretty neat. I like that. It's cool. Next up, we got. Oh, that's cool. It's like a blue hook, like a variant.
Let's go,
I
Hook.
think. I don't know fully like
That's a weird pose.
what cards. Yeah, it's not numbered though, but it looks cool. It's like a blue kind of shiny.
Nice.
I like that.
They should do one with
Next
a
up-
spotlight in the back now that they do the spotlight stuff.
We got Mark Henry chilling.
Definitely a year ago.
Oh, I don't think any of this deck is active right now.
No, I'm just kidding.
All these names.
I mean, Hook is active. What are you talking about?
Well, I said, Danny Garcia. Still kind of away. It's pretty cool. I like that one. And last but not least, actually, yeah, least. Okay, Stokely Hathaway.
Nice. That was
That's
dope.
cool. So
I like them. They
yeah,
did
that's
look
the first
cool.
pack. Yeah, I like the hook and the collar, probably the cooler ones out of all the others. That's
Agreed.
still neat. Yeah, so that was that. Again, every week I'll do a little unpacking of a card. So thank y'all for that, humoring me. And I guess now we're good to talk some wrestling, right?
Yes, sir. Why don't you take it away with telling the fans what we went last night? Because it was pretty fucking dope.
Yeah, I went to the Yankee game. That's pretty cool.
Wait, what?
Sorry. Oh, we attended Grand Slam, AEW Dynamite Grand Slam, and Collision for yours truly only. The other co-host thought he was too cool for Collision and left.
Excuse me, I stayed for the opening match, and then I left.
Yeah, he left. Yeah, poser. Either way,
Poser, please,
not a true
poser.
not a true sicko, unlike me. But yeah, it was a show. It was something, man.
So I didn't really get to ask you about it last night because I left. Did you
Yes.
like Dynamite? We can't talk about
So
Collision. Can't spoil anything. That'd be rude. So did you
for
like
the sake
Dynamite?
of yeah, for the sake of spoilers, we won't be talking about Collision
Agreed.
here. The only thing I will say is, for the love of all things that are holy, do not waste your time watching the MXM collection segment. It was honestly, it was awful. I wanted to leave. It was like it killed
Oh
all the
boy.
momentum of the show. Because like there was like an hour left, and then that segment hit, and like the
That
whole crowd
sucks.
and the crowd and listen, the crowd were popping and they liked MXM or whatever, but like, it was a really dumb segment, and like I just the last two matches were tough to get through for me at least, just because like yeah it was a long night, but that segment killed it. That was kind
Jada
of
Falco
rough.
says it was WWE level nonsense. I mean, that's their whole shtick, though. The whole shtick's been WWE level nonsense, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was
Which I
bad.
don't
I didn't like it at
understand. Like,
all.
why are you bringing that in, TK? What do you like? The whole point is to not be WWE. I don't get what he's doing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't know, but I didn't like it. But yeah, so all I'll say about Collision, otherwise, everything else was solid. I enjoyed Collision. No spoilers, but take out that segment, it was solid. It was fun.
nice.
I liked it. Um, Dynamite, boy, I mean, it's weird. I wasn't like ecstatic or anything. Maybe it's because I'm still that tired and recovering. But that first match, like Danielson Nigel, I mean, that's what we kicked off with. I figured it was going to kick off that way. Our good friend Jay in the
You had
chat,
to.
he predicted pretty much to the T how it was going to go down. With Danielson coming out with Final Countdown and all that. So I popped big for Final Countdown.
Always do.
Um, I think the big thing to remember, and like this is coming from someone that watched every match of theirs leading up this week, like they're all pretty fresh in my mind. Like, it's been 13 years since Nigel's wrestled. It's been a long time, and it's you can't expect him to get in there and pop back out like it's 2007 again and be whatever. So
Do
it was
are
different.
people saying he had a? You think he had a bad match? I don't think he had a bad match.
I don't, but I think the consensus is that they had a very good match,
That's what I think.
but
Yeah,
but everybody was like on the same page of okay, it was a very good match, but you can still kind of tell Nigel's not what he obviously used to be. Like like Danielson kind of stayed or he's at where he's at. Nigel's still kind of rusty.
of
That's all.
course.
So I think the
But
consensus is that it
honestly,
wasn't.
Nigel's the only two spots that were like rusty that I saw were the turnbuckle spot because you saw that he was kind of shaking a little bit, like he's still getting his upper body strength back to do that turnbuckle spot that he likes to do because like his legs are coming down too slow because you could tell he's like really bracing himself. Where he's upside down and they come to chase him and he like hits him and then kicks him on the head or
Oh
whatever.
well, I think he did the one leg on purpose. I
I'm
don't think
just
that was a
saying, like
balance.
he's because he did that in the battle royal too, and it kind of looked the same. You could tell like he's done that definitely more fluid in the past, and he's still getting those legs. And then when they were doing the like the chain wrestling, like you could tell he was kind of moving a little slow and going through the motion just to make sure. But like
Yeah.
that wasn't bad. I don't think he's doing anything bad,
No.
and I think he's
So
for someone who's never seen him, knowing that he's injured, knowing that he was on the commentator table for how long now. When he first got in the ring, because I'm used to WWE commentators getting in the ring, I wasn't expecting too much. Like I know you were hyped about him, but I'm like, all right, he's
yeah.
coming off injury. What's he gonna do? He hooked me that night. Like I even texted. I was like, yo, he's still got it. Like I could tell. And then last night, I thought he was great. Like for someone who's never seen him, he was great last night. I liked him.
Yeah, not lie. I mean, I won't lie. My expectations were they were fine, if not maybe a little bit up, just because I was excited. I was hyped for it because like I wasn't expecting like all the greatest hits to get hit, but like I was expecting like maybe a few more. This is one of those matches where I felt like I was ready for like 5 more minutes. I was ready for a few more of the spots that they've done in the
Yeah.
past. Um, and I've never been a big submission finish guy versus a pinfall guy. That's just me. Like, I mean, I don't mind a submission finish, but I prefer pinfalls more. Like, I didn't even see that finish felt abrupt to me. Like when it ended, I was like, that's it.
I will agree. The
So
finish did feel abrupt, but I think that was only felt abrupt because Nigel had such momentum, and then he just got submitted. Right? That at least for me, that's what it felt like. But I I used to agree with you until, and we've been having this conversation more recently in the chats and stuff. I just hate all the false finishes. It's just too much now, especially with the finishers. Like, so I actually enjoy submissions more now because I don't know if they're gonna tap. Like that one's more to me like, oh my god, like is he actually gonna tap right here? Because it's not been on for 2 minutes or whatever, or he's in the middle of the ring or whatever that comes. Whereas at this point, unless it's like the fifth finisher of the night, I know the match isn't over if it's a pinfall. So it's not like, to me, the submissions still keep me on edge more than the pinfalls do lately, which is unfortunate
yeah,
because I do agree pinfalls are more exciting because that
yeah, no,
count, like we get to count with them like 1, 2, 3. It's great.
yeah. I just when I think of like a dud finish or a dud ending to a match, more times than not, for me at least, it's when a submission happens versus a pinfall. Um, but either way, Jay says, by the way, apparently as he was tapping out, he mouthed "thank you" to Danielson. Couldn't see that at Arthur Ashe. I could. I don't know what you're talking about, Jim. Um, but no, good catch, good call.
How did you
The post,
feel
yeah.
about the stadium, about the layout?
Well, it was fine. More people showed up than I thought. It was close to like 9K, which was good.
Yeah, I was excited about that. It was full.
Uh, I didn't mind no stage because the stage like killed everybody last year.
But I don't
So
mind no ramp, but I do feel like you still need a little more space. Like I hate like a short like
yeah,
runway to the ring because I feel like you don't get as much like drama or whatever.
I
But that
agree.
might
There's
just be
less.
me.
No, there's less pomp and circumstance. I get it.
Yeah.
Um,
But also that's good
yeah,
because then the entrances are shorter, so maybe that's not a terrible thing.
I think a lot of that was them looking at ticket sales and space and using the curtains to hide everything they
Yeah,
did.
you could tell they did that
Um,
big. And like I'm usually a defender of all those seat bullshit, but like they did a big curtain pull last night.
yeah, but you know what though, and like
It
at least to
worked.
be fair, they were only hiding the stuff behind the stage.
It
I mean, it
worked.
was
Yeah,
it
well
was
said.
full. Like people like they weren't really hiding middle bowl or upper bowl stuff.
No.
Everything was like that behind the stage area. So that I can't fault. Every company's always done that. But whatever. The post stuff was I was a little underwhelmed by more than anything. Like with the Christian tease, which I expected, but like now we're doing like Money the Bank teases that get canceled, and I don't keep it in WWE.
Yeah.
Like stealing the pen, like Kip Sabian running away, like
Yeah.
so now he has to sign it with paperwork. Like I don't know. And then like it kind of just ended. Like I mean, again, my expectations were probably expecting a little bit more there, and it just like he walks away, and then Claudio and Pac are there, standing backstage, which was like got a reaction, and then they just cut to black and went to commercial.
I
So
thought
it
they
was
were gonna come out
very
or do something, even like a face off to cut to
yeah.
black. I'm
And they came out later, but it was very weird.
also very disappointed there was no Wheeler Yuta at all. It doesn't make sense with the story they've been telling. How you tell this man to show up for the trios tag match. Did it happen on? Well, yeah. I'll ask. Did it happen on Collision?
So what I can tell you, based on rewatching Dynamite when I got home,
Oh God.
not last night,
What
but
fucking
what?
technicality? No, I'm not mad at you.
Oh,
I'm
oh,
saying
I was
what
like, what did I
fucking
do?
technicality you doing when we catch?
No technicality. At the
Okay.
end of Dynamite, they showed the Collision graphic. The match is happening on
Okay.
Collision.
Cool. All right.
So
But
yeah,
still annoying. Like your little hero is probably gonna try to show up at Grand Slam on Wednesday. All those guys are gonna be there because of the Moxley match on Wednesday. You would think he's so torn and so like worried
well,
about Danielson that he would show up at least. It just seemed
what,
weird to
what
me
I'll
that there's no
say,
Yuta.
I get it, but what I'll say is watch Collision, you'll get it.
Yeah, of course. And
Yeah,
then
you'll understand.
but yeah, no, I agree. I think it just ended kind of odd, but obviously we all knew that was a set for later in the night anyway. But still, I do agree with you with that.
Yeah. So next up, Hook getting Roger Strong.
That was awesome. I really like that
Hey,
match.
finally retired the FTW belt.
Yes.
Much needed. I don't think it's been holding him back. I mean, clearly he's in the same spot now that he was a year ago with Jericho and Beck Perry and the FTW title. Like he was doing the same thing a year apart. So at least now with the FTW title gone, if he's in the same spot where he is now a year from now, that doesn't mean he needs another title. But like if he doesn't do anything evolve a year from now, call it. I'm done.
See,
I like Hook.
so I was
But
thinking about this yesterday too because same mind frame. I'm glad they got the belt off him, all this, but at the same time, the other thing I'm thinking of, and I don't know if I'm trying to give it too much of a pass. I think along the same lines of Dominic with this, and some of the other like young guys that they try to push, like to a lesser extent, Grayson Waller or whatever. But some of these young guys, like I know people want them to push and advance in a storyline, but they can only advance in a storyline so far or go up the ladder so much before they're ready. Like they're still very young, very green. Like right now in my head, if they were on the indie scene, like they'd be still kind of honing their craft and stuff. They're just doing that in front of us. So it looks like they're kind of sailing out. But like there's no movement to go up right now for them because that whole title scene, every title scene's booked. And honestly, they're still too young to even do that because we push, Hook is 20, something like that, 23, 24, something like that. So you push him now, let's say he wins a world title in 3 years, then where does he go? Like, you want him to get a little bit older, try to get more experience and try to make him like really evolve into that story. And it seems like they're stuck in the water, treading water, but maybe they're not. I don't know. I'm not saying I fully believe that. I'm just throwing that idea out there.
Yeah, no, and again, that's why I said doesn't need to be a belt. I just think he needs
Neither do I.
a stronger program or an adversary or a solid team, just something to take him to a next step. Because listen, we were saying the same thing about Hook for like 3-4 years now. That's all I'm saying. Like, yeah, he's young, he's 25, but something's got to grow. That's all. Something's got to change because it's like Jade Cargill. Like who, by the way, signed 1 year ago today with WWE.
But I don't think it's like Jade Cargill. I think it's different than Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill literally hasn't improved in the ring.
Kind of the same thing.
But he doesn't. But Jade Cargill's bad in the ring. Like she needs to get better. Hook's not bad in the ring. He needs to get a better character.
It's not good versus bad. It's more dimensional.
I guess. Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair way to say it.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
it's a very one-dimensional. Like they were both doing the same thing. Like when you had Jade and Hook, they were both doing the undefeated streak, kill somebody kind of thing. That's all. But
yeah.
Either way,
I agree now. I hear what you mean.
Good.
Still
so next up, tag titles. Tag titles. Will Ospreay, Fletcher versus Bucks. What do you think?
Bro, that match was fantastic. Again, until the end. Like, I got mad with just how many false finishes. All of a sudden, Matt Jackson's John Cena and can take 5 finishers in a row and kick at, like, it's too much that they're doing with all this finisher stuff.
That did happen once. There was one moment, I think, when, like, one of them just took, like, 2 huge bumps. And, like, I didn't think it was going to be it. Like, it went exactly how I thought it would.
Of course.
Result-wise, but, like, that moment, I even said to you, I'm like, this isn't Gargano in NXT TakeOver.
Yeah.
Like, this is overkill. And also, I didn't have a problem with anything else. Besides that one moment, my only problem was with what Jay says in chat, Rick Knox.
He sucks.
Listen, I know I don't like him and he sucks or whatever, but it was really bad this week. And maybe it's because we were there live and we can catch everything versus being on TV and not catch an angle. But it looked bad. He's just not a good ref, and it really just sucks. It was really bad.
I didn't realize how much he gets in the way. Like, I knew he was bad at all the other stuff, but, like, there were times where he, like, got hit. Like, 2 guys were in the ring, and that's probably where the camera is, and then where he is on the other side, like, he's in the way while they're trying to do bumps and shit. It's so dangerous.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
But, no, the match itself, I think, was good. I think it sets up
I liked it.
A good Kyle Fletcher versus Ospreay rivalry now, because now you saw that Kyle was willing to use a screwdriver, Will wasn't. So now Kyle thinks Will cost him the match, and you have Callis in his ear. So I think this really starts setting up the whole Callis versus Will Ospreay feud, like the Callis family versus Ospreay feud.
Well, we'll see what happens with Ricochet first.
Well, yeah, that's fair too. I don't think they're gonna give the belt to Ricochet though.
I mean,
They could. I just
if he turns heel, or if Fletcher cost him, like they could do it.
historically, AEW brings in big names, puts them in a big program for a title, and they don't usually win, with the exception of some like Mercedes Moné and stuff. But like for the most part, they come in big name, big pomp and circumstance, and then lose their first big title match.
Christian.
Nothing.
I'm naming names of people that did it.
Christian, Moné. Well, did Christian come in and have a title match right away, or did he win his first big title down the line?
He won the okay. You'll split this hair, but he won the TNA title.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna say something. I'm talking about AEW.
He won a belt on Rampage on AEW TV, but either way.
Okay.
Whatever. Welcome to the conglomeration, Rocky Romero. They gave him a T-shirt and everything. I love the bit where I know you loved it too, where Orange Cassidy like shoot off Rocky. He's like, so "You gotta go. This is my spot now. My bit at the end. You can't be here."
And they did nothing.
And then the big debut of the night, Mr. MVP showing up as Stokely Hathaway was being interviewed about Swerve Strickland. Nice touch. I mean, I'm happy that it was just what it was. I know you like Lashley. I don't really like Lashley at all.
Yeah, I know you
don't. I do like MVP. I do like Shelton. So I'm happy that at least went the way it did. Where okay, I got MVP, but I didn't have to see Lashley yet, so that's good. But I like where they're plopping him in right now. So
bro, if they make a group, and I don't think they will, but if they make a group of Swerve, Lashley, Benjamin, holy shit, man, that'd be dope.
Swerve will,
I don't think Swerve will join him though. Now.
Yeah, no, he'll be rolling on his own now. He doesn't need. He's at that level now. He doesn't need a group.
No, 100%.
So.
And this is how you kind of bring in the Hurt Business. You bring them against Swerve, and that'd be a pretty huge, good rivalry anyway. So that's good.
I believe you mean the Hurt Syndicate.
The Hurt Syndicate, yeah. Sorry, to Jay DeFalco, thank you for coining that last night. The Hurt Syndicate.
Well, I think they already trademarked it. So.
Did they really? That's.
Yeah. So, I'll let Jay take his credit.
Now,
but yeah,
no, hold on. Yeah. Let's take a quick interjection here because What's your opinion on this? Why do they do this? Why can't they just come up with a separate name? Is it the wrestlers want the name because it's kind of recognition, so you want to bring the fans over? Is it the company wants the name for those reasons? Or is it just they're too late? I don't know.
Someone in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not 100% on this. I don't think AEW trademarked it. I think MVP and Lashley themselves trademarked it.
Okay, so that's the answer then. All right. Cool.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure the talent are the ones that grab that name.
Because that's the reason I assume that the I forget what they're called because I really do hate them. The WWE two guys, the new fashion guys. What the hell's their stupid names? MXM or whatever. I don't know their stupid names.
They're in AEW. Those guys?
Yeah. What are their names?
Yeah. MXM Collection.
It is MXM. Okay, so I assume those guys were the ones who wanted to keep that. I don't see why WWE would want them to keep that shtick. So they kept that out of WWE so they can be more recognizable with it.
Yeah, because I think they were called Maximum Male Models.
Yeah, but it was such a bad stick. Like, ugh.
Well, I guess this is them wanting to prove what they can do with it.
That sucks. All right, moving on. I just had to know why that happens. It's terrible.
The women's match, Mariah and Mina.
Good match. I liked it.
Short.
It was long. Short, but they were going to kind of do that. The post match was interesting. It looks like they're setting up a tag team match, I assume, and then that'll eventually lead to a Willow title match.
Yeah, you know what though? I don't like that. Like this is what I was talking about a few weeks ago about them not having enough baby faces. Like Willow just lost a stat in a big street fight. Like Willow shouldn't be the one getting this title shot. It should be Stat. or
Mm-hmm.
anybody else.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yeah.
Next.
Just give me 1 second. I'm just gonna mute my mic and my camera. I just gotta blow my nose. I don't want to put it on here. So
You
if you want
gross.
if you want to start talking about the main event, I can hear you, but I
Totally
want
fine.
people to
Oh,
see your name.
we're up to the main event. So main event was pretty dope. I liked it a lot. Where you kind of knew just right away. Like I was telling Juice before, I don't know if they're gonna have Darby win because they're gonna have Russell Dream in his home state, or if they're gonna have Moxley win because that's. I mean, why else would you do this if you're not gonna have Moxley win? And then literally right when we started, I think like 2 seconds into the match, Moxley takes Darby and throws him into the turnbuckle where his like spine bent around. And I'm like, all right, so Moxley's gonna win. Like that's it.
Outstanding.
Fucking
Loved
crazy.
it.
Then they did the rope spot with the blood packet, which the rope spot was dope. And then I think me and Juice agreed the blood packet was just too much. It just looked like overkill, and you could tell that it
I
was
didn't
like
think it
kind of
was.
fake.
I think it was too much. I just knew right away it wasn't real. That's all.
That's what I mean
I
by
didn't
too
mind.
much. Like I would like they
Yeah.
usually do the blood better, but like that was just like pouring out like red, like dark red. It didn't look real. Um, and then the one spot that I mean, the whole arena was just like it sucked the breath out of us was when he went through the turnbuckle by accident and landed like on the steps again, spine first, and we're like, oh okay, he died again, like another another Darby homicide, like big surprise.
Yeah.
That was terrifying.
Yeah. No, I liked the match. I loved it. I just I don't know if he's still in here listening, but I know Caverlass will agree with me. He felt the same way. It's just this thing with Moxley where like I think from years of them building him up so strong and always winning, it's just so exhausting now. Like I love Mox, but I'm just so tired of like seeing him.
And
And that's the crazy thing is like I like him, but I'm just like enough already.
well,
Like all he does is win, and it just sucks. Like yeah, narratively, story wise, this all makes sense.
and I think that's
Not spo-
where we struggle because it all
I'm
makes
fine with the
sense.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm fine with the creative behind it. It's just like, come on. Like I mean, he cannot win at Wrestle Dream. Cannot.
No,
I'm sorry.
no,
If he,
he's not the one to retire Danielson.
I don't want to be dramatic, but it's one of those things where it's like if he wins, I need to take a little bit of time. Like it's just so ridiculous. You cannot let that be the end. Like after all of
You
this, like
think?
that quick.
I don't think that. Ah, man, maybe I don't know. I don't think so. But
In his hometown,
where
like yeah.
I think where I'm also confused is just that like you can still do the Moxley story and still have had the Darby match and still have had the Nigel match like without because you could have prolonged the Moxley story just like another week. So this way he could have came in, Darby could have had the match, Danielson would
Yeah.
have beat Darby, and then he could have been like, all right, now I want to pick up the pieces. Nigel could still have had his non-title match or whatever, and then
Well,
on
not at Grand Slam. It
but
would
he
have
could have
been
had
something else.
on next week on the big episode because that's another big match of the big episode. So
Yeah.
this way that's announced. You don't ruin the results of the week before because it's a non-title match against Nigel, and then you could have the Moxley set up like as we go along. Moxley could have attacked him at Grand Slam and done this whole like it just
Yeah.
you could have done all
Well,
this without sacrificing Darby twice. And that's the problem is that you sacrificed Darby twice. He should have had the match here, and he should have had the match at Wrestle Dream. That's literally a dream match in his home state for the title. That would have been so dope. But like
yeah. Well, we'll
Moxley
see where
has
this
to
all.
wrestle him.
I think something definitely changed. I don't know if you saw it when I texted it to you, if you really understood what I sent you, but like Osprey Ricochet was the plan at Grand Slam.
Yes.
Did you see the picture I sent you?
Yes. And I
Yeah.
don't understand why
So
that would happen to that either.
so something changed where Tony looked at his card and probably said, if I do Danielson Nigel now, not Danielson Darby anymore. If I do Danielson Nigel on this card, I don't need Ricochet Osprey as well and move it to next week. And that's part of the problem where it's like that's not the mentality. Grand Slam is supposed to be like your big home run, and he thought of the 5th anniversary as another home run, and he split the difference. So I think everything got shuffled around, and that's why it got moved. But something
But what's
happened
so
big
funny
enough
is that,
where
like I said, if that was the case, what doesn't make sense is you could have had Nigel and Daniel next week. You could have had the tag team
yeah,
match next
I
week
agree.
because you could have had Ricochet defending, and then because they won, that match would automatically go to the following week. So those are two big matches you have for the anniversary. You could have had Moxley versus someone, like whoever was going to be the new number one contender, which could have been whatever big name you wanted. That could have main evented instead of it being Darby Moxley this week. That could have been main event. Like, there's so many other things you could have done to still not sacrifice two what should have been the two big matches. Ricochet still hasn't had that huge match. He's come in a month ago. I'm not, regardless how you feel about him, regardless where you think he's on the card, he still hasn't had like that huge definitive, like, he's in AEW.
No,
Where's he been?
yes,
Great. You had a
yeah.
couple backstage interviews. You maybe had two matches that were good, but like you knew you were going to win. It's just annoying. I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is. Post
Yeah,
match.
again, it was a good show. Just I was like I went into last night after all my bitching and moaning on here about this coulda, woulda, shoulda. Where's this person? Where's that? Why not this? I went into it just to enjoy myself, and I did. It was a
Yeah,
really
it was a fun show.
it was a really productive, well booked night, well balanced. I enjoyed it, but yeah, it's obviously not without holes of like what could have been because this show could have been way better, and I
Agreed.
feel like they pulled back. But
And then the ending segment with Danielson coming in, choking, Private Party coming out to help. How do we feel about that?
did you notice that he choked him with a tie?
Yes.
Little necktie action.
Because they
back
also,
of his
didn't
neck.
they? Oh, no, that was Nigel who mentioned Justin Roberts. I was like, I know someone mentioned Justin Roberts in the past few weeks. That was Nigel.
Yeah. Um. I mean, it's fine. Listen, I guess he needs baby faces to like help him out, but it just feels. I don't
Forced?
know. It's just weird. No, not forced. It just feels weird that it's like, of all people, them. That's all.
Forced.
It just feels. Yeah. I don't know.
No, I
And
agree.
I like
'Cause,
Private
like,
Party. I like Private Party. I like Commander. I'll reserve my judgment for the other guy, but I like the act and just
no, but
yeah.
I
I don't
agree.
know.
I think the better thing would have been him getting his quick stuff. Like, the way they started out with him choking the life out of him, and then Shafir on his back and still not being able to get him off. And then even when Claudio and Pac came in, they were like pulling his legs, and it took him like a few seconds more to get him off. They couldn't just pull him off coming in. Like, that would have been fine. Then a beat down. Then you have Saturday where Wheeler's really conflicted, and now Wheeler starts coming in as the ally instead of having all this. I want an entire segment about your feelings on Alex Abrahantes.
Oh,
I
all
I
right.
will literally have to mute my mic just to let him go off for like half an hour, and that would be the only segment of the night.
All right. I'll give you one sentence. If you want an entire segment about my true feelings and Alex Abrahantes, spelling, you can watch Collision this weekend, and you'll hear everything I have to say. Just trust me, I was loud. I was loud enough that you could hear me.
I love it. So yeah,
Like
so
the whole section.
that's so funny. So I agree that like Private Party is like the weird one to put in there. I know they set the stuff with them, but like that was a weird one to put in there, and I think it's only for Collision, and then they're gonna move on past it. So I think you want someone that can give him a little more longevity as an ally, and the Wheeler thing makes it interesting. So I'm interested to see where they go. I'm very interested to watch Saturday and see how they literally just for that one match. I saw the only match I cared about. I obviously won't spoil anything, but I saw the only match I cared about, and then that's it. That's the other match I wanted to watch, but we weren't sure what was going to come on. It's no big deal. Anything else for AEW before I give a quick rundown of WWE, because Juice has made his feelings clear, but as an unbiased streamer, I must give a little WWE news every week, especially this week. It was actually a pretty good show for Raw.
Listen, I think it's for the good of the community and for the morale of chat and everyone here. Listen, you want a fun show where they're engaged, and now you can all put the kids to bed, and you can lower the volume and just listen and just watch me fade into.
Well, I mean, if you say that, Figment has already done that, so that's not good.
put the kids to bed and listen to Danny put me to
the kids
sleep
to
with
bed.
with the dulcet tones of Raw and SmackDown recaps.
All right, here we go. So let's run through some stuff real quick for WWE. So WWE SmackDown, really the only thing of note that I think happened that I care
SmackDown.
about. I'm just gonna go to like stuff that I cared about and that I was interested in.
Good.
Was
That's how it
good.
should be.
Well, I was trying to give some more rundowns in case people cared about other stuff, just to be fair.
Nah,
But I'm just gonna go to what I
no
cared
one
about.
cares.
So
No one cares.
surprisingly, the only thing I cared about on SmackDown was the tag team women's match with Nia Jax and
Oh,
Stratton versus Bayley and Naomi. Because I wanted to,
sure.
I was interested to see how they played off the results because they put in the stipulations of the loser leaves SmackDown or whoever pins Nia gets a title shot. What I was more curious about was because they didn't specify it, if Stratton got pinned, if she would have to leave SmackDown because Nia made that comment earlier. So I was like, that's an
Yeah, but
interesting twist.
wasn't official though, so that
No,
was really
no,
nice.
not at all. That's what I'm saying. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
But then,
And also they made a tornado the day of.
yes, which
So
again helps me not rant as much right now about the end of that match. But I don't like how the match finished. I understand it's a tag team match technically, so if one person gets pinned, it doesn't matter. But because of the stipulation, you would think the referee would be like, you can't do that. It is what it
I
is.
just I think it was a cop out. I mean, I think I said even last week on this show, it was actually the first like match in a while where I was like, "Oh, this is a cool stipulation. I'm
Mm-hmm.
really intrigued to see what they do here."
Yep.
And then I saw the tornado tag, and I was like, "Okay, let's see what they do with the tornado tag." And then they just pull off what I consider a non-finish, and now they're just doing. And rather than just make it a triple threat, they're just doing.
Thank you.
Was it Bailey and Naomi one-on-one
Which you know
tomorrow?
is going to lead to Nia interfering, so no contest, which makes this a triple threat.
Which
It's just
listen,
a long road.
if it stays a triple threat, then fine. I don't even mind that. I'd rather that, and they actually fight and one person wins. That's annoying.
I
But
guess,
whatever.
yeah. I didn't think. I just automatically assumed they were going to go that triple threat road because of that's what they always do. I hope they don't, but we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, on to the bigger show, and I actually,
Oh,
for once, mean
perfect.
that. On to the bigger show. Raw was,
Gross.
I'm gonna say good this week. I'm gonna use the G word. Raw was good this week. All right.
Do you know that this week's Raw was the lowest rated of all time?
That's because people have been watching the last few weeks and it's just like I'm not gonna give it a shot anymore, and then they missed a good one. So
I thought you'd like to know that.
that's hilarious. So first thing
Yeah,
that
really
happened,
funny.
which was pretty good, was the return. And I mean, this is subjective. I'm being sarcastic about this, but the
Oh,
return of the Shark Cage at Bad
oh yeah.
Blood. Dominic Mysterio, everyone's favorite heel, will be suspended in a shark cage while Nia Jax and his love, Liv Morgan, battle. I mean, did I say Nia Jax or Rhea Ripley? I got SmackDown on the brain. Rhea
What the
Ripley
hell?
and his love, Liv Morgan, battle. So that's going to be interesting. I just love a good shark cage. I always think those are funny as hell. So that's going to be great to see. And Dominic is, as much as you hate him, he's going to act like a little fucking scared piece of shit in there. And it's going to be fun to just watch him be an idiot.
I'm curious how they play it off because he's supposed to be suspended above the ring, but also the Hell in a Cell will be
That's what I
above
was
the
curious about. Is he going to be in the Hell in a Cell? Because that's going to be strange. He has to be
No,
in the Hell in
no,
a Cell.
no. It'll be a shark cage, but I'm wondering if they do something like AEW did, where they like put it to the side.
Oh,
Remember when
that's a
like
good call.
remember when the JAS they
Yeah.
were like in the inner circle or
He's
whatever.
definitely going to be put to the side. You can't suspend him in the cage. Like, he can't
Yeah,
be, like, the only way
Yeah.
it would be in the cage but still suspended, so you'd have to get the shark cage inside that. That would be weird. I wouldn't do that. So,
Hello,
yeah.
Keverlast. He
That's
said,
good.
"Yeah, I was wondering that too. It'd be interesting if they'd hang him somehow."
I do.
Yo, if they
I preferred they hung him.
if they hung Dominic Mysterio on pay-per-view, like just watch him like die, that'd be fucking crazy.
Moving on. So, a couple matches I don't care about. You had Sane versus Kaiser. Don't care about that too much. Ooh, but what I do care about backstage,
God.
New Day. Interesting development with the New Day, and I'm very interested to see what they're gonna do with it. Do you see anything with them?
So first off, Jay writes, "God help me if Dom has a platter of chicken nuggies in that shark
Bro,
cage.
I hope he has a platter of chicken nuggets in that shark cage.
He's gonna,
It's gonna be great.
he's gonna, sure."
Did you say anything about New Day?
Excuse me, I was burping. I saw the segment where like Kofi was trying to like gas up Woods, and then like at the end, like it kind of worked, or maybe it didn't work, and then like the guy rolls up with the pancakes, and like Kofi's like, nah,
Yeah, that
get
was
out of
funny.
here.
But
So
I
I
mean,
saw that one. I don't know if there's more
it
than that, but
technically worked in that segment, and then it didn't work later on the night. They lost the match. Xavier Woods,
oh no.
Chad Gable interfered, and Xavier Woods lost it and like started beating the crap out of him and lost sight of his opponent, and then the Creed Julius, I believe, got him and pinned him. So still some dissension among the ranks. I wonder where they go with it, but it's no longer going to be directed at Kofi because Kofi didn't cost him the match this week. So that's interesting to see. I don't know where they're going with that. We'll see about that. Dragon Lee didn't matter. Miz is still trying to get recruited by Karrion Kross. I bring this up because it leads to what happened in a second. But it's weird what they're doing with the Miz and Karrion Kross. I don't care, but I care only because it's weird that it's the Miz. So I don't know why he's like picking the Miz of all people. But the Miz was all hyped like, I'm going to go outside and kick Bronson Reed's ass and everyone has to stop downing me and all this shit. And then he goes to go fight Bronson Reed, and as Bronson Reed comes out, big Braun Strowman comes, and the rivalry of the year continues.
Okay,
At,
hold on.
wow.
Need you to help me here.
You're
Help me
a
out.
son of a bitch.
Before you even get started, I'm gonna need your help here. I need you to try and keep me engaged with this story. Do you have any props or like things you can use nearby to represent Braun and Bronson, and like use them to tell me what you want to say? That maybe that'll keep me more engaged in your conversation.
I don't think so. Not today. I wasn't
Any
prepared
two
for
things.
props.
Use like a book or a belt.
I wasn't prepared for props, bro.
Make one Braun, make one Bronson. Just talk to me that way. That way I can know who you're
I don't know.
right now.
So what we had was
Okay.
on Raw. As Raw started, Bronson was walking into the entrance, and then Braun came and just took out Bronson right in front of Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. It was wild. And then later I'm sorry, maybe Bronson took out Braun. Whatever. I don't really matter. It doesn't matter. They took out each other. And then later in the night,
it doesn't really matter, does it?
Braun took out Bronson just like that again. It was like almost a repetition of stuff. It was crazy. So then they just started brawling again because that's all they do now.
This is insane.
I just know that you hate it, but it's hilarious that how every week now it's no longer a wrestling match anyway. It's no longer anything else. It's just them brawling and finding something new to either break or go through or whatever. It's getting repetitive. It's not even ending at bad blood. I don't know where they're going with the rivalry. So it's weird, but it's different because I don't know. I don't know how to say it. It's different, and I do see why people like it. If you do like just big men just beating the shit out of each other and like that's all it is, that's literally all they're doing. So like I do understand why some people like it. It's just I've never been a fan of either one of them character-wise. Maybe Bronson Reed more than Braun, but Braun just never. Braun just that's it. Braun just
I stopped paying attention when you took the props off the screen.
I know. I'm sorry, bro. So
I warned you.
I
need to be stimulated.
Last thing that matters, and the most surprising thing, was the main event. So we're all going to talk. This rivalry is basically booked by a child with action figures, throwing them through different things. 100%.
I already told you, man. This is
100%.
2017 Braun and Roman all over again. It's the same fucking story.
Yeah. Except
all it is.
No, sir. 2017, they didn't go through a car. All right, watch yourself. Okay, they didn't have. Did they?
Are you kidding me?
I don't remember.
Do you remember when Braun ripped the car door off the car and they started selling the car?
They didn't go through.
From that very second.
They didn't go through it. They didn't demolish the car. All right. Listen.
Flipped ambulances on each other. It's the same fucking shit.
That's fair. They did flip it, but
main event Jey Uso.
But it wasn't
Go
squished. On. All right. They weren't that big. Anyway, main event was pretty crazy. I didn't expect it. I don't know how many people did expect it. Jey Uso wins the Intercontinental Championship, beats Braun Breaker clean in the ring, new IC belt. There are different rumors as to why. Some people think Braun Breaker had some backstage heat because he got too cocky, and this is the way it put him in his place. I don't think that was the case. I think this has been a big story that they've been building a while for Jey Uso, but I don't know. Jey this is the story they've been building. But I'm confused also if this is the story they've been building, what they're doing with the bloodline stuff, because they need Jay for that. It's very intriguing, to say the least. How did you feel when you heard these words that Jey Uso is now top of the mid?
She's called to Paul, made it happen, says Jay DeFalco. I'm
Rikishi,
going to be honest with you, Danny.
To get mad.
I'm going to give a hot take here I don't think you're expecting. Loved it. Loved it. Like, it's about time, like, that they do something like this, because, like, how many times are we talking about, like, 8-month-long, year-long reigns, year and a half, undefeated streaks? You know what? And everyone's like, Braun, you should have held it till Mania. Shut the fuck up, all right?
Why?
51 days, you're out. New Intercontinental Champion. Let's go. Like, this is what they need. This is what wrestling needs. You need shorter title reigns to shake it up, tell better stories, keep the fans on their toes where they really feel like, hey, this could happen tonight. So, I loved it. Let's go.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think this also sets up Braun for just some, like, I miss the days where they were just good 1-versus-1 programmers. Never had to be a belt, never had to be anything on the line, just like a good, rivalry. Like, that's how a lot of those great WrestleManias were set up for. It's not just about the title match, it's about how the rest of the card fills out with the stories and everything like that. So if you can now give Braun like a good main event level rival to start getting his feet wet into and start seeing how he is, building towards that. I don't think it'll be WrestleMania. I don't think it'll be anytime soon, but like next year post Mania, then you can start putting him in that world title picture and he starts from here. Get the IC belt back sometime in between there, have a little bit more of a title reign, get a different belt, whatever the case is. But he doesn't need, a long title reign like you said. I thought it was great. Shocked that it happened for Jay. I love that they built that whole story of like no singles title, yada yada yada. I know everyone, including myself, was like, oh, Bloodline story's coming up in Survivor Series, so they're definitely not gonna put the title on him. And they put the title on him. So pretty great. I liked it.
Well, someone brought up online, I saw a good point. Some like they only did it for this one segment where like Roman is backstage and Roman without a belt sees Jay with the belt, and that's like the only reason that they did it. So
that's ridiculous.
You know what though? Like they literally did it just to get Cody on SmackDown that one week to stare down Roman.
Yeah, that's
so
fair.
It would not surprise me if that's why they did it. But credit
bring it
to
up, but go ahead.
Roman. What?
I was gonna say something else. Go ahead.
Oh, credit to Roman at least. I saw something recently where in October and November, leading up to Survivor Series, he's going to be on SmackDown like 6 straight weeks. So I saw that and I was like, all right, cool. Like this is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
but
you're
he's going to go
full-time wrestler. You should be there every goddamn week. Goddamn.
He should, but I'm saying like they posted like his dates and he's like he's going to be there 6 weeks in a row leading up to Survivor Series, which is cool. But after Survivor Series, I guarantee you he's gone till Rumble. So
yeah, he's gonna win, be the new tribal chief again, come back that next week just to do his thing, and then be gone for a month.
Who says he wins? But we'll get to that. Either way, yeah. All right,
bro.
That's all I got.
The only tribal chief, he said. The only one. That's what he said. His words, not mine.
He's just trying to sell T-shirts. He don't mean that.
Speaking of selling T-shirts,
He ain't tribal
that's
chief.
a real nice hoodie you got on your back there. Where'd you get it?
Thanks, Darby. I got it at Grand Slam yesterday. Grand Salami.
Dope. He was wearing that too. So, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you had a great night. We had a lot of fun tonight. We loved your interaction tonight. Thank you so much for playing along with us. Thank you for all being so wrong about big men. Next time I'll teach you more. No big deal. I'm glad to see that Juice feels a little validated, that a lot of people are wrong. Like you said, that's a problem with this country. You guys will figure it out. We're fine. Next week, we are back. Same time, same place.
Well, not same time.
Oh, 7 a.m., 7 p.m., earlier time.
7 a.m.?
All day. We're doing an all-day one next week. We need to get the hours up. We need to get the subs up. We're doing 24-hour stream next week. Join us.
Yeah, I'll do it.
I got the day off. I'll do it too. Anyway, so next week, a little bit earlier time, same place. Please join us. We hope you guys had a lot of fun tonight. We want to keep the fun continuing next week. If you have any ideas of any segments you want us to do or any segments you want us to bring back, please let us know. We love them all so much. We want to do some more, and we want to keep you guys engaged. So come back next week. Have a great time. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Peace out, everybody. Hey, just remember, everything sucks. Enjoy what you can. Happy birthday, Danny. Good night.
You